down. And do stop crying.
Ridiculous things funerals are, anyway. A stupid minister whining through his nose. Why does the Lord have to show such partiality for men with adenoids, I wonder?
Shh! No respect for anything.
If I had, I'd have lost it after I saw all of you pulling such long faces at the church where you knew you'd be under observation. Such hypocrisy. And then John had to go and force a few crocodile tears at the grave.
When I saw Kurt, that's why I cried, not for her. What a scene Kurt made. I actually believed he wanted to throw himself into the grave.
You believe he wanted to? Why, it was all Mark and I could do to stop him, wasn't it, Mark?
Totally. I never expected he'd turn violent like that. He seemed calm enough these past 3 days.
Calm. Yes, just like a corpse is calm.
And now this perfectly mad idea of going away today to join that infernal expedition. Leaving that child in our hands, the child he has never even looked at. Why, it's too monstrously flagrant. He's deliberately flaunting this scandal in everybody's face.
We must talk to him quite openly if we're forced to. After all, I guess he realizes the situation more keenly than any of us.
What you mean? You think that he believes that... Well, I don't. And you had better be careful not to let him guess what you think. There's my proof. There he is walking about with Bigelow. Can you imagine Kurt doing that if he thought for a moment that...
Oh, I guess Kurt isn't all fool. He knows it's the best way to keep people from suspecting.
Wouldn't you think Bigelow? It's disgusting to stick Kurt like this.
Well, yes, for one, I'm becoming quite resigned to Bigelow's presence. In the first place, he seems to be the only one who can bring Kurt to reason. And then again, I feel that it is to Bigelow's own interest to convince Kurt that he mustn't provoke an open scandal by running away without acknowledging the child.
Oh, I hate you all. All of you. I loathe your suspicions, and I loathe myself because I'm beginning to be poisoned by them too.
Uncle Edward, where are you going? Lily, go with him and see that he doesn't...
He's just only going up to see the baby. He's simply forgotten everything else in the world.
You probably realize that we are too mean to remember.
Hurry, he shouldn't be left alone.
This baby at least is innocent.
Well, next. I don't see what good we are accomplishing. May I run along?
You will stay, if you please. There's to be no shirking on anyone's part. It may take all of us to induce Kurt.
I wouldn't worry. Bigelow is taking that job off our hands, I imagine.
Seems to be doing his damnedest. Stage missed a great actor.
But if Bigelow should fail...
Then we'll succeed. By God, we'll have to.
Kurt has already packed his trunks and had been taken down to the station. Told me he was leaving on the 5 o'clock train.
Yes, but didn't you hint to him there was now this matter of the child to be considered in making his plans?
I started to. He simply flared up at me with insane rage.
Say, I believe they're coming in.
Bigelow?
Yes, they're both making it for the front door.
I suggest we need to retreat to Kurt's study and wait down there.
Yes, let's do that. Come on, all of you.
Kurt, David, wake up! Are you made of stone? Has everything I said gone in one ear and out the other? I know it's hell for me to torment you at this particular time. It's your own incredibly unreasonable actions that force me to. I know how terribly you must feel, but David and I postpone this going away. If you would just be reconciled with the child, stay with him until suitable arrangements can be made.
Never.
You keep repeating that with Martha barely cold in the grave. I ask you again, what would she think? How would she feel? If you would only consent to see this baby. I know you'd realize how deadly mad and cruel you are, so won't you for just a second?
No! If I did, I would be tempted to. So no more talk of that, Dick. I've heard enough.
If you want to play the brute, to forget all that was most dear in the world to Martha and go about your own selfish way, nothing more to be said, and you will be punished for it, believe me. And I want you to understand that all friendship ceases between us from this day on. You're not the Kurt I thought I knew, and I have nothing but a feeling of repulsion. Bye.
Big! Big. Big.
Kurt, forgive me. I ought to know better. This isn't you. You'll come to yourself when you've had time to think it through. The memory of Martha will tell you what to do. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Kurt? What time is it? Do you know? It's 2 minutes to 4. Still an hour more of this. Kurt.
So beautiful. Isn't he just so beautiful? He's such a dear. I could go on watching him forever.
Shh, Uncle. Surely you're not still thinking of going on the 5 o'clock train, are you, Kurt?
Yes? Then Mr. Bigelow did not convince you? I'm not to be convinced by Big or anyone else. Now, thank you not to talk about it anymore.
You mustn't be unreasonable, Kurt. After all, we are your family, your best friends in the world, and we are only trying to help you.
I don't want your help. You will help me most by keeping silent. Yes, no doubt.
But you see, Kurt.
No. If you'll just allow me to be the spokesman, then I think perhaps Well then. Will you listen to me, Kurt? I'm listening. What else can I do when you've all got me cornered? Say what you like and get this over with. First of all, I hope it is needless for me to express how very deeply we all feel in your sorrow. But we sincerely trust that you are aware of our heartfelt sympathy. Poor Martha.
For goodness sake.
I may truthfully say that we all feel... I know how terrible a day this must be for you, Kurt. We all do. And we feel guilty in breaking in upon the sanctity of your sorrow in any way. But if you will pardon me saying so, your own course of action, the suddenness of your plans, have made it imperative that we come to an understanding about certain things. About one thing in particular, I might say.
Yes. It is for the best, Kurt.
Yes, Kurt.
You mustn't be unreasonable. Yes, old man. You got to face things like a regular. Facts are facts.
I'm going out in the garden. You can call me when these orations are finished.
Lily! What time is it? No, you have plenty of time to listen to what I should rather say, what we have to ask you, Kurt. I promise to be brief. But first, let me again impress upon you that I am talking in a spirit of the deepest friendliness and sympathy with you, as a fellow member of the same family, and with the highest ideals and the honor of that family always in view. First, let me ask you,
Is
it your intention to take that 5 o'clock train today?
I've told you that.
And then you'll join this expedition?
You know that.
To be gone 5 years?
More or less.
Is it your intention to return here at any time before you leave?
No.
And your determination on these plans, is this irrevocable?
Irrevocable.
That being your attitude, I will come bluntly to the core of the whole matter. The child who's coming into the world cost Martha her life.
Her murderer. You are right.
You can hardly hold a child responsible for that terrible outcome. Women die every day for the same cause. Why do you attribute guilt to the child in this case? Kurt?
Its name is Jayson, Kurt.
In the eyes of the law, will you please remember that?
I don't want to remember anything.
I am sorry, Kurt. You cannot act as if you were alone in this affair.
I want to get away from this horrible hole as far away as I can. I must get back to my work. And that's where I'll find Martha again. But you can't understand that. What good is all this talking about which leads nowhere?
You are mistaken. It leads to this. Do you understand that you're running away from this child on the very day of its mother's funeral? This will have a very queer appearance in the eyes of the world. It will appear like a desertion on your part.
I'll arrange it to suit yourselves. Anything you wish.
I'll take you at your word. Then let us arrange it this way. You will remain here a month longer at least. No. You can make plans for the child's future in that time. Become reconciled to it.
No! Kurt, please, for all our sakes, when the honor of the family is at stake.
Yes, old man, there's that about it, you know.
No!
It's impossible.
Perhaps Kurt misunderstood me. Be reconciled to it in the eyes of the public, Kurt. That's what I meant. Your own private feelings in the matter. Now, no one's business but your own, of course.
It's very well for you to ignore what people in town think. You'll be in China or heaven knows where. Scandal won't touch you.
But
we've got to live here and have our position to consider.
Scandal? What scandal? Huh, you mean the imbecile busybodies who will call me an unnatural father? Well, let them. I suppose I am. But they don't know what's behind it all. Perhaps they know more than you think they do. And just what do you mean by that?
Be still, John. Let Mark do the talking.
What John means is simply this, Kurt. You haven't even been in to look at the child, have you? Since it's been born? Not once, have you? And don't you suppose that the doctors and the nurses and the servants, they notice this, yes? It's not the usual procedure, you must acknowledge, and they wouldn't be human if they didn't think your actions, or lack of action, peculiar, and comment on it on the outside.
Well, let them. Do you think I care a fiddler's curse how people judge me?
It's hardly a case of their judging you! This is a small town, Kurt, and you know as well as I do, gossip is not the least of its faults. It doesn't take long for such things to get started. And now I ask you, frankly, is it wise to provoke deliberately what may easily be set at rest by a little, I'll be frank, a little pretense on your part?
Yes, my boy. As a Jayson, I know you don't wish.
You really must think of us, Kurt. But how are you even concerned? Pretense? You mean you want me to stay and pretend in order that you won't be disturbed by any silly tales they tell about me? Good God, this is too much. Why does a man have to be maddened by fools at such a time as this? Just leave me alone. You're like a swarm of poisonous flies.
Kurt, this is
outrage
to allow such insults.
You're not playing the game, Kurt.
It seems to me it's much more for Martha's sake we're urging you than for our own. After all, the town can't say anything against us.
Martha's sake. Martha is gone. Leave her out of this.
But unfortunately, Kurt, others will not leave her out of this. They will pry and they will pry. You know what they are. Kurt couldn't act the way he's doing if he never really cared for her.
You dare to say that? What do you know of love?
You are making a fool of yourself, Kurt. Are you, or are you not, willing to act like a man of honor to protect your own good name, the family name, the name of this child, and your wife's memory? Let me tell you, your wife's good name is more endangered by your stubbornness than anything else.
You, all of you, are aiming something against Martha. Oh yes, it's in the back of your words and your actions. Go away. Get out of this house, all of you. I've seen how you tried to hurt her ever since we came, because you resented in your small minds her evident superiority.
Superiority.
Her breadth of mind and greatness of soul that you couldn't understand. Oh, I've guessed all this, and if I haven't interfered, it's only because I knew she was too far above you to notice her sickening malice.
You're only acting for our benefit because you think that we don't.
Why, you poor little non-entity.
We know. The whole town knows, and you needn't pretend you've been lying. You've given the whole thing away with yourself, the silly way you acted, telling everyone how you hated the baby, letting the judge up. But you might as well leave off your idiotic pretending. It doesn't fool us or anyone else. You were sitting for Bigelow that night. You're hobnobbing with him ever since. You're pretending he's as much of your friend as ever. We're all afraid of you, but I'm not. I will tell you to your face, it's all acting you're doing. It's just cheap acting to try and pull the wool over our eyes until you've run away like a coward and left us to face the disgrace for you with this child on our hands.
Please, dear.
For heaven's sake.
Someone had to show him his place. He thinks he's so superior just because telling us how she. I won't stand for that. I've always had a clean name and always will. And my children too. Thank God. Big.
Bigelow. Pretending he's as much my friend.
What's the matter? Why is John mad at Kurt?
So that's what's been in your minds. Yes. All of you, it's on your faces. But no, you don't. You don't.
I don't want Curtis. My, how sick you look, boy.
You don't believe that this child.
Oh, he's an excellent baby. The best I've ever seen. And he's a Jayson right down to his toes.
I know you. But look at them. Wait. And I'll give you all the answer.
Oh God, he's liable. Why didn't you follow him?
Doctor and nurse in there.
I understand less and less of this. Where has Curtis gone? Why did he act so sick? What's the matter with all of you?
Nothing, Uncle. Nothing.
No, you will not touch me up! You all look guilty. Have you been saying anything against Curtis, baby? That was what Curtis seemed to think. A fine time you picked out with his wife not even cold in the grave.
Uncle.
I never liked that woman. I never understood her. Now I love her and ask her forgiveness. She died like a true woman in the performance of her duty. She died gloriously, and I will always respect her memory. I feel that you're all hostile to her baby, her poor, little defenseless baby. Yes, you hate the idea of Curtis having a son. You and your girls. Well, I'll make you bitterly regret the day.
I fear it will be necessary to tell Uncle you've had enough trouble with your telling already. Should have never come to pass. Kurt will never forgive us for this. Never.
You see now what holding your tongue has done? And my children will have to suffer for it too.
Pick on me, cowards.
Here he comes.
Well, here's my answer to you and your rotten world. I kissed him, and he's mine. He looked at me, and it was as if Martha looked at me through his eyes.
Oh, Kurt. So you won't go now, you will stay?
Do you think your vile slander could influence me to give up my work? And neither shall you influence the life of my son. I leave him here. I must. But not to your tender mercies. No. Thank God there still remains one Jayson with unmuddled integrity to whom I can appeal.
It will be my great happiness.
I leave him in your care, Uncle, while I am gone.
He'll be the one God never granted me. He will be my son.
Thank you, Uncle.
But I cannot approve of your running away like this. It isn't natural. But you always were a queer person. And a man must faithfully do the work ordained for him.
Yes, I must go. What would I be for him or anyone if I stayed? And thank God you understand. But I will come back. And when he is old enough, I will teach him to know and love a big, free life. Martha used to say that he would take her part in time. And my goal shall be his goal too. Martha shall live again in him. And you, Uncle, please, swear to keep him with you, out there in the country. Never let him know this obscene little world.
Yes, I will, Curtis. Let anyone dare.
I must go. Teach him that his mother was the most beautiful soul that ever lived. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Curtis.
Kurt, you're not leaving us this way.
Kurt, you're going without a word?
Kurt, you're not going, are you?
Yes. Goodbye, Lily. You loved her, didn't you? You are not like. Well, take my advice and get away from here before you become. But I see it in your face. It's too late.
No, Kurt, I swear.
Yes, I'm going without a word, because I cannot find a fitting one. Be thankful I can't. It would shrivel up your souls like a flame.
My boy, we are wrong. We know, but at least say you forgive us.
Ask forgiveness of her. We must learn to respect and love what we have become. You are forgiven. Goodbye.
And he found out, did he? A fine mess you made of everything. No, I should say we, shouldn't I? Kurt gets
isn't as bad as it might have been. He did acknowledge the kid, in front of witnesses, too.
Acknowledge.
Well, you know that. Well, at least there's something there. It absolves some of us. What did you even do all this? You basically said everything you said was true. And what about you? You weren't even here the whole time. I think you can go to every second.
Just gonna drop by you a cart and bull. And if that cart and bull turn over, I was gonna buy you a dog named Rover. And if that dog named Rover won't bark, I was gonna buy you a horse and cart. And if that horse and cart fall down, you'll still be the sweetest little baby